Hi guys, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good day, everybody. My name is Albert Tan. As usual, we are actually starting now. And if you can hear us or see us, please type something in the live chat in YouTube so that we know that you can hear us. Okay, we have few new guys and also we have some many old guys. So oh, sorry for keeping you waiting, and you have to wake up very early in Los Angeles or maybe California. Sorry. So before we start, maybe we just give J Lo a few minutes to calm down because he is rushing home. And so yeah, Jay, if you are ready, just say a few words before we start.
Yeah, so firstly, my apologies, guys, for keeping you waiting nearly 40 minutes. The traffic is hectic here in Jakarta. So I was supposed to be home just over an hour ago. So anybody that's been waiting, including Albert, my sincere apologies for keeping you waiting for so long. And yeah, I'm looking forward to this one. I just want to say thank you to Albert. Albert and myself were introduced nearly a year and a half ago now, and Download Silo, obviously from the main man himself, Albert has been an avid supporter of VoiceOver Air, as it was known, our company, Voice Sonic Labs, and I'm really happy and looking forward to doing this live with everybody here tonight. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Jay. Yes, we have many old members here, and except a few new members.
Mm.
Perhaps you can give us a very short introduction about your company, about yourself, and also
Okay.
about this VoiceAir, because VoiceAir is now version 2. It
Yes,
started as Voice over Air, if I'm not wrong. Okay,
correct.
please.
Correct. So the Reader's Digest version for the old people, like, well, I'll class myself as old, not you, Albert. The Reader's Digest version is I've been in the audio branding industry for coming up to 25 years now, and I'm a firm believer in audio branding, sonic branding. I started my own company. The company was called Bespoke Marketing Global, coming up to 18 years this September. So that's showing my age. And we've had a real enjoyable ride over the past 5 years. We steered towards AI voices, AKA text to speech. We launched the first mobile application of text to speech nearly 3 years ago now. This November, it's been VoiceAir, as it was known, has been live on the Play Store and the App Store 3 years later this year. And it's been a real fantastic evolution to what we've created, and where we are, or where we've been over the past 12 months is really just trying to find our way on how we can provide not just a mobile application but a web version as well, because we were solely a mobile version up until last September, so nearly a year ago. And then we brought in an amazing team. I have a fantastic development team here in Indonesia. We've now got in total 11 developers, front end, back end, mobile, and web, and the UI UX designer, and apart from our marketing team. And yeah, it's just been a real enjoyable journey over the past 12 months, which you've been part of. And what we've really found is the connection with our community has really played an influential and integral role into our growth, into understanding what users need, what users want. And it sort of really goes back to the core value of the company, and to the actual product itself, which is really to provide a hub for content creation. And we haven't set out to be the biggest, the baddest, and the best. What we believe in is to have a real core, a unit of community, and our community on Facebook, our community through social media has been really important to our growth. And what we've seen, as you've just mentioned, V2 for voice there, has been detrimental to the success that we've seen over the past 6 months. Really, even right until the end of Q4 of last year, we've seen a real influx of users. We predominantly were carrying LTD, which lifetime deal community. But over the past 6 months, we've seen our user base go from a few thousand up to now just over 13,000 paid subscribers, which is it's a real achievement for us. And that wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for you and many others within the community supporting us. So, yeah, we're in a position now where we've got not just the core features, which is text to speech, music, and voice, and video. Now got a lot of AI features which have helped us on our journey. So something that I'd like to show you guys this evening, and really just to give you a better perception and understanding of where we are right now, what's coming next month, and what's coming for the rest of the year.
Okay. Yeah, guys. I think VoiceAir actually evolved, so since 1 year ago. So today we have to explore what is actually the version 2 is all about. Maybe I will just talk about a little bit, as far as I know, they're talking about long form for seamless audiobook and podcast creation, airwave for audio wave, DALL-E for image generation, and air assistant for all round help. So perhaps Jay can tell us more about it and maybe show us some demo on this VoiceAir.
Yeah, of course, no problem at all. And what I'll do is just really give you a better understanding of what we're trying to emulate, what we're trying to create for the marketplace. So up and when we launched the web version, we had a real basic web version 2 years ago, but we never promoted it because it was so basic. We were solely focused on the mobile application. But then from listening to the community, from being part of download silo, from the LTD and the users that that we gathered over the past 12 months, a lot of them were web wanted a web application. So in September, we launched V1 of the web version. V2 literally went live, I think at the beginning of this month, maybe middle of April. So we've been live like 4 to 6 weeks now with V2. And with what you've just mentioned, so the long form feature and the AI assistant. So what we've tried to do is really just to integrate into being able to provide users with an application that they can use for everything that they need. So for the long form, which is called Air Projects, we've pretty much emulated or copied. I don't mind saying that because I find that we use 11 Labs for our voices. Anybody that doesn't know us, we are powered for the text to speech side of things with 11 Labs. 11 Labs have their long form feature called Projects. I think that's been live maybe 3 months now. And we have had over the past, probably the past quarter, people from SpeechKey, people from Utter, also known as Blakeify, and a lot of them were looking for the long form feature. We didn't really have too many requests prior to that. So what we're trying to do is to adapt and evolve to be able to accommodate everybody that's a user of VoiceAir. So the long form feature, which I'll show you in a moment, I'm not gonna go into too much detail. What I'd like to do is just really give you like a bit of a flash into what the long form feature does, where it is now, where it's going to be next month, and what we see for the long form feature. And then alongside that, we have the Air Assistants, we have DALL-E integrated, we have a lot of features that are really sort of automated on the basis that are going to support users in creating content. Our number one goal has been, when we first came up with the concept of VoiceAir 5 years ago, was really to be able to provide users with an application that they can use, and they don't have to use multiple apps to create content. That's really what our number one goal has been, is to make sure that users have the ability to create content inside of one application, whether it's on the mobile version, and pretty much everything that you're going to see now, and if not all, is already on the mobile version. So, we are actually, and still, which is quite crazy, because I was worrying nearly 3 years ago. Oh no, everyone's going to be having a mobile application, and most of the text to speech, some people class us as just a text to speech provider, and we're not. We're far more than that. And my biggest concern was always, people are going to start jumping on the bandwagon and have a mobile app, and they haven't. And I understand why, because creating a mobile application is not as easy as people think. It's a very difficult process. So what I'll do now, I'll start talking about what we're doing, and give you some insight into the web version features that we have, and also with the Air project, and just give you a bit of a snapshot into where we are. So yeah, let me share my screen with you, Albert, and then
Okay.
we can take a look. Let me know when you can see what we're.
Yeah, it's on the screen now.
You can see that. All right, great. So, what you're looking at right now is our latest feature, which is Air Projects. And what we've seen is quite an influx of users, as mentioned, from Speech Key. Maybe not so much from Utter, but mainly the Speech Key users. And a lot of them are using long form content. And what we've also seen as well is a lot of users that are subscribed to 11 Labs are also using 11 Labs' projects. So what we want to do is to be able to offer a feature. Let me just hide that. So what we want to do is to be able to offer a feature for users to be able to create long form content for audiobooks, as you mentioned, podcasts, and many other sort of use cases for long form. So this is V1. We literally went live with this. I think it was at the beginning of the week. We've literally been live a week. Okay. Right now, the feedback's been great. As I've mentioned earlier on in this live, it's paramount to us, and it's imperative for us to be able to listen to our users on what they want. So right now, some people are not happy with the UI, which is fine. Within the next fortnight, we're actually going to change the layout of what this does. But to give you a very brief understanding, you can create multiple chapters here. Okay. So for instance, we'll just put in chapter 2. So what you're able to do is to add multiple chapters, and then you can go in, without sort of going into too much detail. So you can choose your voice here. You can have your clone voices. You can choose, for instance, French. Maybe you'll be able to hear this. I'm not. So you can choose your voice. You put in your script here, and then all you're doing is basically creating multiple chapters to create your audio book. So right now, per chapter, you can have one voice. Okay, but what you can also do is break that chapter down into multiple segments. And within those multiple segments, you can have multiple voices. So, for instance, what we want to do is have it the same as what 11 Labs have, whereas each paragraph you can choose a different voice like we have now. But for me, the workflow isn't the best, and that's the feedback we've found, or I've seen over this past 5 or 6 days. So this area here, within the next fortnight, will look exactly the same as what 11 Labs have, which is basically a document page. Okay, so anybody that's currently using 11 Labs and has been using their projects, this is a little bit more complicated than what 11 Labs have. So in the next 2 weeks, users will have what you see here will be basically a document page, like a Word document, if you can envisage that. And then every sentence, you're able to highlight it and change pretty much anything that you want to do here. So you can have your different accents, you can choose your gender, you have your clone voices as well, which a lot of our users are using, which is fantastic. So basically, the Air projects will be near enough identical to what 11 Labs are doing. And some people are like, oh, well, you're copying what 11 Labs are offering. But we see it, yeah, okay, if you want to call it that, that's fine. But it's more about being able to provide a better UX for our users when they're creating long form content. They're able to create the best they can. So sorry, my internet's running a little slow right now. But yeah, that's the long form projects. That's the Air projects. Do you have any questions on that, Albert?
Yeah, there are some question. Let me go through.
No problem.
Okay, this question is interesting.
Okay.
Yeah, but there's some confusion navigation system.
Definitely, and that if you're specifically talking about air projects, then I understand that. And again, like I've explained within our community, the V1 is the foundation of the product, I want to say this in the right way without sounding disrespectful to anybody that uses our application. Is I think the mindset of a lot of people is that they expect it to be all singing, all dancing on V1. And that's not the case. What we have to do is, and if we cast our minds back to September of last year, the end of September of last year, so 7, 8 months ago, V1 of actually VoiceAir or voice over air as it was known was so basic, was so um, the UI wasn't amazing, the UX wasn't amazing, but where we are today compared to where we were 7 or 8 months ago is this is a continuous and perpetual evolvement of an application. So as most of people know, and I know you do too as well, Albert, we have, as I mentioned at the beginning of this call, we have 11 developers working on 2 products, as well as the mobile app and the web version of VoiceAir. So we're constantly recreating, redesigning, and something that I've used in my business for nearly 18 years is when we wake up in the morning, or when I wake up in the morning, I want to break VoiceAir down. I want to smash it apart and build it back better that day. So for anybody that's new, anybody that's been with us for the past 12 months will have seen the journey that we've been on. And it's like, somebody said to me about 3 weeks ago, people are expecting so much, but people forget like Canva and Adobe and all of these when they first started were not where they are today. So as long as people can keep that in mind, so that, the confusion on the navigation system, I'm with you. I'm a user myself. So as long as you are constantly seeing development every week, which you are, there's no real, not an argument, but there's no real problem from our side, because we listen to you. We have a roadmap, we have suggestions there, so anybody that's looking to help us and help themselves, we're open, our ears are open to that. Multiple layers option is very useful indeed, but is there an option to delete any layer? Yeah. Okay, let me show you. Okay, this is probably the best way. So can you see my screen at the moment, Albert?
Yes, you
Okay.
can see it
All
now.
right, so I'll keep it simple here. Let me answer this question first. So, what you can do, you can't actually do this in 11 Labs. You weren't able to do it in some of the previous products that I've already mentioned, or the companies that I've mentioned. So, what we want to do, and this is a really big thing for me, is we want to be able to provide users with the ability to create monologue, which right now this is dialogue. Okay, so you've got multiple layers here. You'll see add new layer. So right now there are only 2 speakers in here. So to let me just go to the question again. Oh, I've missed the question. Sorry. It was to delete layers, right? So right now, it was actually mentioned yesterday. So what we're going to do by Monday, when you click on one of the voice segments, right, you'll be able to click on a voice segment, and it will hover. You'll have a little box here to be able to delete that voice segment. Right now, is the UI the best it can be? Far from it. Will it become better every week? Without fail. So what you can do here is you can delete a voice segment there, okay, to remove. You can move these, okay. The editing and the timeline is far better than what it was before. But these are multiple voice segments. You can add more if you wish. You can actually add up to 10 different voices if you want. To simplify it, we've got two at the moment. But yeah, to answer the question, you can next week, it will be more intuitive. But right now, you literally just highlight or click on one of the voice segments, and you can just delete the voice segment here. Okay, that's the simplest way to answer that question.
So the
Okay.
next question is there any undo button?
Right, good question. It was actually, do you know Anil? You might know Anil. He's prominent on a lot of pages. He actually did a review this morning, and I watched the review and I cut the review down to our developers because what this is my responsibility because and with all due respect to the developers are absolutely amazing, but they're not users. So it's my responsibility to be able to convey as a user what needs to be done. We have the UI UX designer. So right now, the simple answer is there's no undo button. Will there be an undo button early next week? Yes, there will. So for any instances where you make a mistake or you remove a voice and you want to re-add that voice, next week you'll have that on there. It was discussed in our daily stand up. We have a stand up every day at 12:15, and today we had it, and the undo button will be on there. You can take that to the bank, and within the next 7 days, 5 business days, you'll have that undo button.
Okay, Mabel is just want to confirm deleting layers. I think it can be done, but you can edit the script.
Deleting layers, I think, can't be done, but you can edit the script. Well, you can. So what you can do, okay, so here, you've got the speech synthesis, right? So you're able to, if you look closely here, okay, if you look in this box here, right, watch this now. So I'll choose a random segment, okay. It will change the text, okay. So you can actually edit the voice segment. As you can see, it's changing. If you watch this now one more time, it will change to that voice segment and it will go to that. So if you want to edit that, you can edit it. One thing we've added, which wasn't in V1, which some people are like, oh, that text field's really small. But basically, you can open that up. Okay, available characters in this project. So just to also clarify, because some people are confused, that's our fault. But what we've tried to do is make it more intuitive now. So each project in the not in the air projects, in the air projects, you have unlimited characters. So what I was showing you before with the long form, each chapter now has 100,000 characters. So if you're creating an audiobook, that provides more freedom. Within the voice labs or the projects that we have here, which is what you're looking at, we have to limit it at 15,000. And here you'll see, which I'm going to highlight, it's 1,500 characters per voice segment. The reason for that is due to the fact that when you're generating content, because we're using 11 labs, when the API call goes to 11 labs, at the moment, anything over, it's sort of changing now, but originally back in September, anything more than 750 characters would degrade. It would dilute the actual the voice. So you would start to hear imperfections. You would start to hear degradations in the actual voice segment. So actually this month 11 Labs have just changed that. So now you can actually do up to around, you can generate up to around 1,500 characters without losing the whole. I would say about 750 to 1,000 was okay. Anything after that was starting to become shaky. You would hear imperfections, and it would just lose its way. That's now changing. In June, I had a chat with 11 Labs last week. In June, they've just increased their amounts on their platform, and in the API, that's going to change in June. So users will we are going to increase this 1,500 per voice segment, as I'm showing you, which is highlighted. So that will change next month. So yeah, you can do what Mabel's actually asked. It is possible.
Okay. So this question is by the Ray. Ray.
Okay. Yes, you can. You just need to let me just show you very quickly. Let me come out of this. Okay. And I'll show you. I'll go back into here. So you've got, this is the air projects. Okay. So you're able to now, you can add as many chapters here. Let me put another chapter in just to show you. So in here, as I just mentioned, you can now create, I'm going to highlight it. You'll see in the chapter, you've got 100,000 characters. Okay, so our VIP voices, you have 100,000 characters per month. So long form for with that VIP voices, you can still create long form because that's 2 hours of content. But obviously, you're going to not be using 100,000 because that's your total quota for the month. VIP Voices Plus is 250,000 characters, which is 5 hours of content. So you are able to create audiobooks using Air projects. So that's the simple answer.
Okay, thank you.
No problem.
This question is by Ray again. Can we
Yeah.
add breathing or sighing, to the
Okay.
voice?
Yeah, so that's a great question. So, what you can actually do, and we actually showcased this to NMC back in the summer of last year. If anybody doesn't know who NMC are, which is understandable, NMC are the largest media group here in Indonesia. So, we created a promo for them. And we had one of the voices, actually like an AI chatbot or a demo voice, and there was science in that. So what that comes down to is the context and the content that you're creating. So it actually can do that without the need that the AI that 11 Labs use, their voice engines, can actually sigh, can laugh. We have a really cool guy in our community that now has just reached, since the beginning of the year, 6,000 subscribers on YouTube. And some of his content, if not all of his content, in fact, is mind blowing. And that it's just a case of trial and error, but it's also down to we have a knowledge base which you can see on our web version. It's also on our website as well. And in the knowledge base, it will show you how you can create size, how you can create expressions and emotions, and how you can create the voices to laugh as well. So you can do that, yes.
Okay, let's move to the next question. Oh, this is
Okay.
the same question by Ray.
All right, cool. Right. So this is actually an exclusive for you guys. The questions come up. So what we've been trying to do is over the past quarter, we've now added Air Assistance. We've got the DALL-E integration. We've got the AI translation. And what we've been really sort of not focusing on, but really trying to find, we've been trying to source the best text to music and the text to image. So to answer this one briefly with the Pika Labs, there is a way for us to do it. Pika Labs don't have an official API, but there is a backdoor to be able to integrate Pika into VoiceAir. I'll release more information in our community over the next week. We're just exploring it at the moment. But yeah, that's our focus now. We've got the foundational AI features, the air assistance, and as I've just mentioned, the translation and the DALL-E. So right now, our next goal is to add text to music and text to image. So the exclusive is we've actually just found this week a text to music provider, which is mind blowing. I've been testing it all week. And we will have that set up by the middle of June. So on the music side of things, the text to music will come first. So that will be in a fortnight. By the end of the month, what we're going to do is test Pika. We're going to integrate it into VoiceAir, and we're going to let users test it, get a feel for it, and if they're happy until the actual API comes out, it will be available. I love Pika. I've loved Pika for nearly 5 or 6 months now. But our focus is to allow users to have Zora, which I'm sure you're aware of, Albert. But right now, there's no definitive date of when that's going to be released. And rather than sit still and go, oh, we can't wait for Zora to come, it will be coming in 2 months, it will be coming in 2 years. We can't sit still. So what we'll do, and what our goal is to provide users with multiple options. So any API that comes available. So we want to focus on OpenAI, so users can just add their API key. But at any time that we feel that's right, and that also comes from our community, if there's any suggestions or recommendations, and we can do that, then we'll make sure that users have the option to choose multiple text to music, multiple text to video, and also with the text to speech as well. So right now we have 11 labs. By Q4, we're going to have OpenAI voices as well, because they're starting to become prominent now. And also by the end of this year, so in Q4, voice engine, we want to give people the option: choose what you want, bring your own API keys, BYOK, and be able to give people the options to create their content. Are you using the same technology for voice cloning? It comes directly from 11 Labs at the moment. So yeah, transparency is we're using them. We're working with someone right now to provide our own voice cloning. But there was a big in January, very brief story. In January, when we mentioned that we were going to build our own voice engine, we had a bit of a backlash. It wasn't too much, but because I didn't explain it correctly, a lot of people were freaking out thinking that we're going to steer away from 11 Labs. We're not. We'll stick with 11 Labs. I love 11 Labs. They've been great with us over nearly a year now. But what we want to do is to remove that restraint, to remove that, to solely just use 11 Labs. So we are in the background working on our own voice engine and the voice cloning. So at some point later this year, you'll be able to use VoiceAir's own voice engine. There you go. Good question. All right. Shall I show you that?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Let's go for it. So that's a really good question. And while I'm working towards that now, what we originally had, we were using originally Google Translate, but there was a couple of users, LTD users, in fact, last year, around this time last year, that raised a bill or created a bill of around $1,600. OpenAI was only just really getting going. So now what we have, and this, please note that this feature here, Air Assistance, translation feature, okay, and the DALL-E is all integrated, but you will need your own API key, okay, from OpenAI. So to answer your question, you'll see the text that we've got here. Let me just close that a second. So you can see the text here, okay? So you're able to right now to create, to translate in 29 languages. There's the 29 languages that are available. So for instance, let's just choose Arabic, okay, which is the top one. That will then change, translate, as you can see here. It will translate it from English or translate it from any of the languages into the other languages that are available. So the simple answer is yes, you can. You can translate it into any of the languages, the 29 that are available. Okay.
Okay, that's good. Jay, I have a question which might not be exactly what you think. Now you have voice over, I mean voice to text.
Yeah.
Can we do the reverse?
Speech to text, speech to speech.
Yeah, speech to text. Yes.
Yes. All right. Great question. So currently, we're restricted to what 11 Labs offer in their API. Okay. However, a lot of our community, some that will be on this call right now, they will know that what we are doing is we're not just going to rely on 11 Labs. Okay. So the simple answer is right now, no, it's not available. Will 11 Labs offer that in their API at some point? Possibly. They're not going to be releasing projects or the dubbing that's in there that's currently in 11 Labs. So what we don't want to do is just go, oh yeah, we'll just wait for 11 Labs to do it. So we'll just build our own. So within the next, during this next quarter, so from tomorrow, by the end of August, we will have speech to speech and speech to text from ourselves. Okay. Right now, no, it's not available, but we can't sit and just wait for 11 Labs and go, oh, it's coming. And then it doesn't happen. They've been promising some things earlier this year that haven't happened. And one thing I won't do as the founder of this company and the person that's responsible for the company and for our community is just sit back and wait. So we've got the team now. There's 11 developers. We're now in a position where we've got the foundation features of VoiceAir, so we can now start to explore speech to speech, which will come, I do believe, in July, and the speech to text as well. So right now, no, but during this next quarter, 100% yes.
Okay. Talking about speech to text, what kind of engine are you intend to use? Because there are so many of them, and OpenAI actually have an engine that is a Whisper, as you know, is a
Yeah,
pretty good. I would say very good. So I
100%.
want to know your opinion.
Yeah, we're actually already using that in Dub Air. So we'll integrate that into VoiceAir. Whisper's fantastic. So that we're already we're when I say we're already building, we already have the tech, the open source from OpenAI, and for us, it's the next step. If the next step up from text to speech is speech to text and speech to speech, because 11 Labs have the speech to speech feature. I've tested it over the past couple of months and it's fantastic. So again, we've had actually a lot of requests for the speech to speech. So yeah, with during this next quarter, that will be available.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Maybe we just answer this question by
Yes.
Bob Reynolds.
Are the files stored, or do we need to download what is created? So great question, by the way. So what we've done right now is, because we're very aware of sustainability. And one thing we've never done is offered unlimited, like a lot of companies have over the past 12 months. So right now, your content, Bob, any project that you create will be saved for a month, for 4 weeks. When that 4 weeks comes to when that 4 weeks is up, the only thing that will be removed is the video. So your projects will be kept. Okay, there's no expiration on your projects. So the voices, so the whole project will stay there. The only thing that will be removed is the videos, because that's where the majority of the storage comes from. But what we will be doing, because we've had the investment, because we're now starting to scale, the MRRs come in, we'll get to a point where you won't have a restriction on any of your projects. Right now, it's not happening. During this next quarter, it will happen. So again, great question. Hopefully that answers it for you, Bob.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Intro and outro for each clip.
I understand the intro and outro, but I need to know what the each clip means. Does that mean each project? Does that mean each voice segment? So yeah, an intro and outro. You can actually do that now. There's no issue with that. There's no restriction on an intro and outro. It just really just depends on if you're creating short form. If you're using the mobile application, I would say personally, the mobile application is for short form content. The web version is for more medium to long form content, both either air projects or just a normal project within VoiceAir. So hopefully that answers it for you. If not, just drop another message and I'll answer it the best I can.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. And insert spaces. Okay, that's a really good question. So again, something that now that we're starting to generate, a healthy revenue stream, multiple revenue streams. What I want to do, and what I've seen over the past 6 to 12 months, is it's become really prominent that automation is playing a big role in content creation. So do we want to automate VoiceAir? 100% we do. Do we want to be able to provide users with the opportunity to not have to, even though some love to do it? And why do I say that? Because they tell me they love to have control of what they're doing. But we are looking at the automated side of the projects or of content creation. So once we find the software, I think we'll probably build it ourselves as well, or look for something that's open source. So at some point, that will happen where you can automatically insert spaces. Right now, it's manual. Is it a difficult task? No, but we will at some point throughout this year offer what you're looking for. All right, good question, Mick. That's a really good question. All right, so what I'd like to do here is just to explain again, and I hope this conveys in the right way that because we use 11 Labs for their text to speech for our AI voices, we've been restricted since we've been using them since September of last year. And they have currently 5 accents: English, Indian, Australian, American, and sorry, when I say English, I mean British, and then there's one more. And unfortunately, even though there's 29 languages available in VoiceAir, all of the content that's been created has a Western accent, which is frustrating for people here in Asia. It's frustrating for people in Europe. So what we've done, and I do believe we're actually the first to do this, and I'll just show you quickly. If I could just share my screen again, Albert, with you.
Okay.
Let me show you very quickly what we're able to do now, Mick, so you have a better understanding of this. So right now you can see here, this all will change tomorrow, but you can see American, African. There's actually, I would say, a handful of African accents there, but these are the current accents. So if you want to create, let's say, an Indonesian voiceover, right? But it will have one of these accents. So what we've done is we've actually added in here. Let me just close that a second. So for instance, if you want to create a French voiceover, right, you'll see, oh, let me just come off that clone. My apologies. Let me just change that. That's my fault. Again, this will be all changing next week. So let me go back in here, type in French. I don't know why it's, I think my internet, I just got a pop up. My internet's gone really slow for some reason. But basically here, you can see, you've gone, it's, we go to most recent. Let me just change this. So what you can actually do now is you can type, we're going to put a post out this evening. You can choose a French voice with a native accent. Yeah, my internet's gone crazy. You've got German, you've got Hindi, you've got literally another 15 languages or accents compared to the ones. Yeah, sorry, my internet's gone really slow, so I'll come off of that for the moment. But yeah, so basically, to answer your question, Mick, you can type in that little field French, German, and just search for the language that you want. And right now we're going to be adding, we've just added another 10 today. Every fortnight, we're going to be adding between 10 to 15 voices, and we're going to steer away from the Western accents because there's so many that are available already. So what we want to do is to find accents or the languages that are not showing inside of the main library of VoiceAir. Hopefully that answers it for you, Mick. Surprised to see how full featured Air is becoming. Are you afraid of scope creep or getting too diluted among the competitors? Right, great question, Faz. No, I don't think so, because as I do a weekly live, I changed it from a Thursday to a Monday. And one thing I'm always reminding myself and reminding our community is what I don't want to do is to saturate VoiceAir with so many different features that people are getting lost in what they're creating. Our core value is to create content using voice, music, and video, and with the additions of the air assistance, with the translation. So to simply answer it, Faz, and I know that you've been, you've commented on many times over the past 12 months. I don't see that being a problem for us, because I won't lose focus on the actual foundations of what VoiceAir is. What we try to do is just to really tweak what we have right now. As I say to our developers and have done over the past month, we're at a position now where we don't need to add more than the text to music, more than the text to video. We're confident that when we add those two main features, all we'll be doing is keeping up with the UI, providing a better UX, and making it a better experience for users to use what's there. So we won't dilute the product. We won't overcomplicate voice there. All we'll do is make it a better experience. Is the financial situation of your company stable? Great question. Um, yes, and I can briefly elaborate on that. So right now, um, over the past 3 months, we signed an agreement. Albert, are you in Malaysia or in Singapore? Singapore, right?
KL, KL.
KL. Okay, same time zone. We signed an agreement with ROAS Media, which are based in Singapore. It was actually through one of my friends who was at Facebook for 13 years. It's one of his good friends, Rich, who's the founder of ROAS Media. And I'm just give you this brief story. So we signed a 6-figure agreement with ROAS Media. I think it was around my birthday at the end of March. So these guys are dealing with multiple high-end clients. They work with Netflix. They brought Stranger Things into the APAC region. So just to give you a bit of perspective on the question, and also the answer, is that right now we are in such a strong financial position that what we're doing is we have not just one revenue stream of VoiceAir. We're doing things outside of that. We have agreements, multiple agreements with NMC, largest media group in Indonesia. We're about to sign another contract. I can't say too much at this stage, but next month we'll be revealing a contract with a large company that provide voiceovers globally. We had a 7-figure investment come in April, so a couple of months ago. So with regards to finances, we're going from strength to strength. As most people will have seen, we've stopped selling the LTD a few months ago, just on the basis that we're in a really good place now. So yeah, the simple answer is we're happy. I'm happy, and if I wasn't, I would tell you. Does VoiceAir have its own API? Yes, it's coming. It's coming. We have probably a handful of our community that have requested this. And just last week in our community page, the Voice Sonic Labs community page on Facebook, I asked for people's use cases, for our community's use cases. And we had about 7 to 9 use cases. And we will be providing an API for you guys. Will it come next month? I'm confident by the end of June, possibly the middle of July, that there will be an API. I use an app that has an integration with 11 Labs. Okay, yeah, so it will come, yeah. Do all voices and generated files store on the cloud? Yeah, so another question just a few minutes ago. So right now, the voices are stored on our own cloud. Everything's there for 4 weeks. You'll get everything. So your voice, your music, and video. After 4 weeks, if it's not active, if it is active and you're using that specific project or editing it, it won't remove the video. But if it's dormant or not been used in 4 weeks, then the video is removed and you just need to upload your video again. Any plans for AI avatars with lip sync? Okay, so yeah, that's a really good question. I was totally against the avatars probably up until March of this year, so 3 months ago, 2 months ago. And I've now started to see that a lot of people are asking for the avatars. I'm a little bit torn that we're going to bring it in. We're actually testing it at the moment. I just feel like the AI avatars for VoiceAir don't really fit, but for Dub Air, I do believe that they do. But what we have said, and we can go and check this out, probably by the end of Q3, possibly early Q4, we have our own avatars. We were going to work with a company that just a couple of weeks ago that went down without mentioning any names. I actually reached out to the founder to see if we can help them because they were in a bit of trouble. Got himself back on his feet, but I just feel like if we're going to do that, we'll build our own rather than use a third party. So yes, at some point they will come. Can we include an introduction and conclusion in each video clip? Yeah, you can do that. So you've got the freedom, Raul, to be able to add multiple voice segments. If you're looking to create content with video, you can do that. If you're looking just to create an audio file or an audio clip, short, medium, or long form, then yes, you can definitely do that. It's very simple to do that. Can I copy and send an audio file to another user who has VIP access? Not within VoiceAir, you can't. At the moment, you can do it via the mobile application, but I sort of get the question, but I'm a little sort of confused of what you're trying to create. But in the mobile application, when you've created your audio file, you just go to export. You can send it via WhatsApp, email. You can add it to Instagram, TikTok, or wherever you want. So hopefully that answers it for you. What is the maximum character limit for input text? What is the maximum length of audio we can generate at once? Okay, so in Air projects, you can create up to hours. If you've got the VIP Voice Plus, which is 250,000 characters, which on average is around 5 hours of audio, you can do that. If you're adding video right now, I would say about 30 minutes is probably the maximum at this stage. A lot of our community, a lot of our users are creating short form content for YouTube. But yeah, to answer your question, maximum character limit in Air projects is unlimited. I hate using that word, but it's unlimited. But you can add 100,000 characters per chapter. You can add as many chapters as you want. But on the normal project, you can create multiple voice segments, and the maximum is 1,500 per voice segment, up to 15,000 characters per project. Hopefully that gives you what you need. Can we use VoiceAir for voiceovers and add music separately? All right, let me answer that first part. So yes, you can add music from our library right now. As I've just mentioned, which is an exclusive for Download Silo, next month, by the middle of June, you guys will have a text to music feature. We literally last week are going to allow users or provide users, not allow users, provide users with the ability to upload their own voice, their own music. That will happen, but we're going to prioritize the text to music first. So by the end of June, you guys will also be able to upload your own music content. Is music provided by VoiceOver Air copyright? Yes, it is. How often is music added? So right now we've got 500 license-free, royalty-free soundtracks provided via Epidemic Sound. Will we continue to add from Epidemic Sound? Possibly not. Two reasons why. One, because of the cost, and two, because we're adding the text to music feature next month. So let me be clear on that. So probably not going to be adding any more from Epidemic Sound. Can I access the files I generate in the past and for how to synchronize the VIP voices with pre-recorded video? So, all right, you can. Well, of course, you can access your files. They're all saved on the cloud. As I mentioned, if you don't edit any of your projects for 4 weeks, then they will be kept. They'll be saved. The video will be removed. And how can you synchronize pre-recorded video? So let me just show you very quickly. I'll share this with everybody so you can see a very clear. Just give me 1 second. And I don't know why. Let me just refresh that. I think there was an issue there. So basically, in the video feature, yeah, my internet is running at snail's pace. But basically, in the video feature, yeah, I don't know why that's done that. Give me 1 second. You're able to upload your own videos. So let me see. Yeah, I'm sorry about this, but my internet's gone
Jay,
crazy.
maybe you should what they call your
Can't
video.
refresh.
You can stop your video of your own.
Okay, let me try. Yeah. Okay. Stop sharing. All right. Yeah. Maybe that will work. Okay. Let me have a little look. Yeah. In fact, I can show you on. I've got another version open. So give me 1 second. I'll share that with you now. Thank you, Albert, for your help there. Um, so as you can see here, you can upload. Can you see that, by the way, Albert?
Yes.
Yeah. So here you can just upload your own pre-recorded video into VoiceAir. Just opens up here, opens up any files on your local device, or you can generate images there. So hopefully that answers your question.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, no problem. Will I be able to make two voices speak at the same time, as sometimes it happens in reality? 100% you can, Prince. Sorry, yeah. So let me just scroll. Let me just show you here. So what you'll see is you can see multiple voice segments here. So what you can do is two things. I've created dialogue here, right? You can actually create monologue, which would just normally be one layer. So here you can add multiple speakers, not just two, but you can add as many speakers as you want. You just add a new layer, click new layer. It will push this down. You'll have another voice layer here. You just keep adding your voices. And what you can do, as I'm about to show you, Prince, is you can just move that on top of each other. Yeah, so the two voices, the segments can actually speak over each other. Okay,
Okay. Yeah. Understand.
cool. Does VoiceAir provide a music library? Yes, Saddam. Currently, we have we have the Epidemic Sound library, which has 500 soundtracks in there. Different moods. There are 31, I think 32 moods that will match your content that you're creating. So right now we have that. Next month we'll have the text to music, and by the end of June you'll be able to add your own music as well. Can it emphasize text in between sentences? And does its voice style like loud, angry, calm, excited? All right, good question. So before we signed with 11 Labs, we were using Amazon Polly. And people, unfortunately, people not unfortunately, but people are still using Polly. And you get the option to add the emotion to the voice. The good thing with 11 Labs is the AI actually reads the content that you're inputting. Okay, so you don't need to add what you can with Amazon Polly. You don't have to do it manually. The AI itself will read the content of what you've added, and it will read it within. It will add the expressions that you're mentioning there. So it will read the content, and if in the script that you have is loud or is angry, it will do it automatically for you. So that's the amazing thing with 11 Labs.
Okay. Let's move to the next question. This is integration with video. And
All right. So in voiceover air, probably not. In dub air, 100%. Without sort of going into dub air right now. But yeah, into voice air, I don't really see the need for like wave video for what we're trying for our business model and for our roadmap. We don't see that for voice air, but for dub air, yes, definitely.
okay, okay, this is just the opinion of Ray.
Yeah, I've already mentioned this in the live. Now that we've got the investment that's coming in, so the seven-figure investment's actually paid over three tranches, so it's paid in three payments. So we're just getting the first payment, just had the first payment, and then we'll get the next one in at the end of Q3. So our goal is to not rely on third party providers. Our goal is to have our own technology. Hence the reason why we've built a team. This time last year, there was two of us working for the company, myself and Ifta. Now we have 11 developers, including the UI developer, Ifta, marketing team of four, and next month, we're going to be building out our support network, our support team. So thank you for that. But yes, we will be doing it. Can I make custom voice and use it in different languages in Spanish? 100% you can. Yes, you sure can. You just add your clone voice. Very simple to do. A lot of people are adding when they're creating a clone voice, they're adding like 5 or 10 minutes of clone voice. You actually don't need to do that. I did a clone voice back in July of last year with I think 72 seconds to be exact. And the clone voice was amazing, and the text only just is just getting better. So yes, you can. I can speak in any of the 28 languages. English is obviously one of them, so 29. But you can speak in Espanol or Portuguese. So yes, you can do that 100%.
Okay, Jay, let me show them the giveaway participation form
Yeah, no
so that
problem.
they can actually participate. Okay, guys, these are the links. It's simple. Go download silo.com/voiceair form. So please participate. You want to win one of the two prizes. Okay, let's move to the other questions.
Yeah, we've done. Yeah, okay, we've done that one with Sorav. So yeah, that's not an issue. You can do that. You can speak in. The only thing I would mention, just to add to that, Sorav, is I would say to create a good solid output for your voice clone is to do it in English. You can do it in any of the languages, but the most accurate is if you speak in English. Even if you have an accent, it's fine. There's lots of instant voice clones and professional voice clones that I've heard in the 11 Labs library, and they're really good in different accents. But I would say if your English is good, do it in English. You can try in your own native tongue as well.
Okay. Stock photo, stock video, and images.
Yeah, hi Jeffrey. Yeah, so if I'm honest, I don't think we're going to go down the road of what some of the providers are offering with the stock images. We obviously have DALL-E, or not obviously, but we have DALL-E integrated there. I won't say no, but it's not currently on our roadmap to add the stock video. But you can, as I said, if you already have a provider, you can upload your own images to the timeline as well as videos. We never had that on V1, so you can add multiple videos, multiple images on the timeline. And again, with the DALL-E integration, I think that makes a difference for what we have. Can we configure it to alter pitch and tone to reflect different emotions? So pretty much, Sumit, as I answered to someone just a few minutes ago, where they were asking about the emotions, it's exactly the same. It's that the AI actually reads your content. So you'll find if you go to our YouTube channel and just search VoiceAir or Voice Sonic Labs, you'll see we've ran a few competitions for our community, and we've posted all of the entries, and you'll hear the different expressions, the different content that they've provided. So the answer is yes, you can do that, and you don't have to press any buttons to do that. The AI will do it for you.
Okay, this is just another version of the
Yeah,
question, so
yeah.
same
So the
thing.
answer is yes. Darren, you can. Yeah, because like I've mentioned, so again, what I've done in the past 17 years of business is when I first started, we were relying on third party providers. The only providers we're relying on right now are 11 Labs and also OpenAI. But I don't really see OpenAI as a huge issue because it is bring your own key, your own API key. With 11 Labs, our goal is to provide by the end of this year, three options. So you can use 11 Labs. You'll be able to use OpenAI voices, which are starting to become amazing, and then we'll have our own voice engine. So we won't remove 11 Labs. What it will do is we won't be paying what we're paying right now, and we're buying at wholesale. So we do get a real generous discount on what we're paying. But the simple answer is we won't rely just on 11 Labs. I think that would be, as a founder, a real weak point in myself if I just believe that we'll just use 11 Labs for as long as we're a company. It has to be we use our own resources, and that's why right now we're working on having our own voice engine. Also, Albert, just while we're waiting for the next question, I just want to do something that's I think because a lot of these, I say a good few people that have joined tonight are new. I've not seen their names before. We've got the usual suspects, which is great, such as Faz and a few others. What I'm going to do, Albert, is if anybody is interested, because I've stopped the LTD a few months ago. If anybody's interested, because we've just launched the V2 and we've just literally just had an amazing quarter, I'm going to release 15 LTDs as well as the giveaway that we're doing this evening for the yearly. But there will be available 15 LTDs for anybody that's watched this live, anybody that's interested. And it's 15 at the very most. So, yeah, just in case anybody's interested. If you are, you can drop a message in the comments or email us at support@voiceair.ai, and we'll offer 15 to you guys. And then
Okay, that will be good. That will be good.
I wonder if you could
Okay,
use
let's answer the next few questions.
yeah, accents to do training for those trying to learn the language. So many applications. Yeah, so we're actually for if I don't think you're in our community, Faz, but earlier this week I had news that I'm actually have a meeting with the head of the let me just get this right to make sure the health minister and the education minister of Indonesia. My wife is quite well known in Indonesia because of her position and her job. So she's got a lot of contacts, and I actually I've got a meeting next month. And what we're going to be doing is providing, or I've already presented it to them, schools with languages is what you're saying there to help. But so right now our focus is to make sure over the next quarter to make sure that VoiceAir is in a position where we're not having to add more features. It can just do what it does. It will become self-efficient. We'll tweak it, we'll maintain it, we'll manage it. But once we've done that, and we've got Dub Air as well, outside of that, then we have a number of avenues that we can venture down, and that's one of them to do training for languages. So great question. Great. Yeah, appreciate that. Thank you, Paz. Hopefully that answers it for you. So yes, we will.
Okay. This question by Shiva Kumar.
Okay, good one. I like that. Any plans to add pre-built templates to help video creation that can save more time? Yeah, again, as I've mentioned maybe 20, 30 minutes ago, I think once we have the text to music, once we have the text to video in there, our goal now has to be for the rest of the year is to be able to provide users with automation, and that pretty much fits exactly what you're saying. So adding the templates in there, being able to provide, and I've seen it, a lot. There's an amazing company out there called Vidboard, Ashwin, who's a really nice guy, and I speak to a few other founders as well, and I see that they're using templates. So for us, for content creation, and also from what's currently in the market, you look at Canva, they've got templates there as well. There's a lot of mobile applications that have it. So I think if we don't do that, I think it's maybe an injustice is a bit strong of a term, but I think we're not listening to our community if we don't. So the simple answer is yes. At some point, do I have a time frame for that? No, but we will add templates, definitely. It's just a natural evolution for us to add that.
Okay, good. Thank you.
No problem. Final
This
question.
question a bit long.
No worries. I imagine in the future there will be open source AI tool for voice generation, but the interface would not be great. So we would like to integrate it. Can we get unlimited? All right. So it's sort of like a bit of a two-part question now. So as mentioned, we will be building our own voice engine. That will be by the end of this year. You will have the option within VoiceAir to use our own voice engine. You also have OpenAI and 11 Labs. The second part is the unlimited. I really can't. I don't think that that's viable. It really just depends on the cost, because what we've seen with OpenAI over the past 6 months, maybe 9 months, is that their prices are dropping, right? The prices are reducing. So I can't say that unlimited will be available, because as a business owner, I think anybody that offers unlimited is very short-sighted to be able to offer unlimited, especially when you don't know how the marketplace or the actual landscape is going to change. So on the unlimited thing, I'm just going to say no. I'm not going to sit on the fence with that one right now. It could change, but right now, no unlimited.
Okay. Yeah, maybe this is the last question before we go to the
No problem.
giveaway.
All
So,
right, here he is. Here's one of our devoted community members. Thank you, Francois. Can we change the all text of the input video to make a totally different message and have the lips well synchronized with the new text in DubAir? Yeah. So again, just very briefly, obviously this is about VoiceAir, but to answer your question, without sidestepping it, it's the same goal of what we've done with VoiceAir since last September. If you can cast your mind back of when we had a huge a lot of attention when we announced that we were going to be using 11 Labs, or when we announced that we were having a web version, and in September when we launched V1, it was very basic. It wasn't where we are today. And as Francois knows, we're constant. We're really productive in what we're doing. And so just to touch very briefly on DubAir, what we've literally paused it now for a week or two because the new developers have just come in to help. But what we've done with VoiceAir, we will emulate with DubAir. It goes without saying that what we create is really important to us. But to answer your question, Francois, yes, we're open to suggestions. We have the roadmap. We want you to provide your feedback. What can we do to help you guys, whether it's DubAir or VoiceAir? We listen to everybody, because without you guys, we don't have a business. And if we just stick to what we want, we won't last more than a year. So that you guys are really important to us. Sounds a bit cliche, but it's true.
okay, thank you, Jay. So, I think we have answered most of the question because some are a repeated question.
Yeah.
So let's do the spin for the giveaway prizes. So we have two prizes. One is social media VIP voice, which is for 1 year, right?
They're both for
Jay?
the yearly, yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
one. Yeah,
So
you've got
the
social
prize is
media.
VIP voices.
Yes, correct. You've got social media and VIP voices. The social media is worth just over $200. and then the other one's like 370. So yes.
Okay. So I'll spin 2 times. So the first one will be the social media VIP, and let's check the name. Any repeated name? I guess to be okay. Yeah, let's do it now. Hussein Puja. Yeah, Hussein Puja from Bangladesh. So are you there to claim your prize, Suja?
I'm sure he is.
You never know. Okay, while waiting for him, this is the last question. Can we
No
expect South
problem.
Indian languages with own
So,
model? Right now, it's only Tamil is supported.
yeah, great. Well, there's Hindu on there as well, Hindi in there as well. So just to very briefly give you an understanding. So we were approached by a quite well known Indian company in March. This guy's known around the world, and he contacted me, and I was like, he said to me, "How many users do you want? How many users are you expecting in the next year to 2 years?" I said, well, we're going to do 25,000 without fail. He was like, I can get you 25,000 in India, no problem, but you've got to add more voices and more languages. So we're in discussions with him to actually take a very similar VoiceAir into India. So at some point, the simple answer is yes, we will add more Indian languages. So yeah, that's coming. I don't know when, but that will happen this year.
Okay, thank you. So Hussein Suja is already there. So let's spin the next prize is VIP Voices Yearly. Let's shuffle. Shiva Kumar. Shiva Kumar, please start your name as usual in the chat.
Did Mr. Shoot? Oh, there you go. There's the first one. All right, great. What did he put after a long time? He's finally won something. I never win
Okay, yeah,
anything.
Siva Kumar. I think he's around. He asked a few questions, if I'm not
Hmm.
wrong.
Okay, cool. Well done, guys. Appreciate your time as well on a Friday.
Okay, are you there? So while waiting for him, we just conclude for Jay. So just to repeat what we have said in the very beginning, because this session has been dragging for quite some time because we are late by 30 minutes, 40 minutes, you know.
My fault. Sorry.
So yeah, so please be what they call be patient with us because sometimes things of like this happen, and we are glad that we have about maybe 30 over 40 members actually uh,
Hmm.
live with us, and that show that your enthusiasm and the confidence in this J Loh product, So we hope that you gain something knowledgeable, and also that Jay will actually continue to improve his product. With some investor coming in, and also some with big clients joining his what they call his team.
Hmm.
So Jay, do you have any question before we end?
No, I just want to say, firstly, I do apologise for the delay. I appreciate the people that have joined the live. It's always a pleasure, Albert, to jump on with you guys at Download Silo. It's always interesting, and yeah, what one thing that you've seen over the past 12 months, you've been you were one of the early supporters of us. I think you were actually the first live that I ever did, and one thing that you have seen is that the pace that we move at, the pace that I move at, it is steady, and we say what we're going to do, and we've been doing it. We with the proofs in the pudding. And for me, it's just really about continuing on our journey and moving to the next level as and when we're ready. And I've got nothing but a lot of gratefulness for the people and appreciation for yourself and also for our community and people that have joined us tonight. So again, I really appreciate everybody for taking their time on a Friday to join us.
Yeah. Thank you, Jay, and also thank you all the audience who actually spend more than 1 hour 20 minutes with us. So that's a good what I call interaction with
It's a short
founders.
one. We normally go nearly 2 hours.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
See you again next video, next seminar.
Thank you,
Webinar.
guys. Appreciate you all. Have a good evening, Donald. Take care. Yeah. Albert, sorry.